Just watching this episode alone, it really makes me wonder why Equestria Girls didn't got a Christmas special yet, considering the fact that it's 5 years since it came out. And My Little Pony has like 5 of them, if you count the special. I mean, really. The fact that we got another Christmas special while following another Christmas special later this year, it just is it me or does Hasbro really love Christmas or something? I'm just really curious onto why they had to make another heartwarming episode. I'm just really curious. Anyway, the student six are forbidden to leave the School of Friendship because, well, there was a giant mess that someone made, and then, of course, they assumed that the main six completely did it. So they had to clean up the mess, and while during that time, they talk about the heartwarming time because I think this episode is what's trying to show us is that these characters are from different locations, well, besides Sandbar, so they wanted to show us what the species from all of Equestria's heartwarming holiday is like. So this is basically what this episode is about. We get to see heartwarming storytellings from the Changeling characters. Sorry, I don't remember their names completely, but some of them. And they completely show us what they did over the holidays during their kingdom. Mainly the changelings, the dragons, and all that kind of stuff. Now, the changeling one was pretty cute, and Silverstream is probably one of my favorites. I'll get to that later. And as for the other stories, mainly Sandbar, I thought it was going to be a very great storytelling. However, it's all about the stuffed animal that they made, and then it just landed on the floor, but luckily it didn't win in the file. Yeah, they're really making Sandbar completely cool, and that's the only thing I didn't like about this episode. I thought we are going to get into more detail about what his holiday is like, but then again, we see ponies in heartwarming episodes do what they usually do, so I guess it's kind of excusable. But as for the other characters, mainly Lorna, I think it's a kind of an interesting idea because considering the fact that the species that she's with, the Yankees, I think, they completely cause a lot of havoc, but they completely sane and all that stuff. It's basically those style of heartwarming either where they go to places, find wood, and completely knock them down. It's kind of cool to see how they're completely celebrating the holiday by doing unique things. I think they're just trying to easily get trees for a Christmas tree, but apparently they don't know how to completely set up a tree. So I can really understand how it's going to be very difficult for them to actually do unique and difficult things like that. Smolder's story is probably more serious, but then again, she's the very serious and more moody character, so I can really understand that she really isn't in the mood of being with friends. This is episode 15, and then after this episode, she's gonna grow a friendship with the other characters in the Line 6. So you can really understand that she's still more herself and not usually a friendship type person. The story itself is probably the most interesting thing. We get to see how they completely make the story completely dark and completely scary, but then again, they at least try to. The thing is, they're trying to tell the truth of what they did in the kingdoms during this holiday, which is kind of the point. The episode is evolving honestly, that Twilight said at the beginning of this episode. And they completely need to do the right thing by doing honestly, by telling stories to each other. Anyway, let's get into Silverstream, which is probably one of my favorite out of all the stories that they tell. Because Sequestria was one of the greatest things I liked in the My Little Pony movie, and it's kind of great that the only species that are making them returning after the movie. They have a 3-day celebration, because apparently due to the Storm King completely gone forever, they get to do whatever they want and celebrate Heartwarming Eve more days than one. So I can really enjoy of how Silverstream completely enjoys her Heartwarming Eve so much. Also, I really appreciate the fact that that they actually showed a Storm King before all this happened again. Like, the good things had completely turned out because of the Storm King causing a lot of havoc. So it's kind of a great thing that we get to see Storm King for the second time in this show. The first time was the movie, and this is the second time we get to see him, even if it was a flashback. However, the only character who didn't explain about... However, the only character... No. However, the only character that's actually kind of the most interesting to see is Gallus' story involving his heartwarming Eve. But because in the birds location, sorry, I keep forgetting the species names, they don't usually get along during the holiday and always go against each other because apparently they completely hate each other mostly. They don't celebrate a lot, which is actually kind of the saddest thing into why most of the birds, except the biggest fangirl from the Kuma Caseos, are really depressed and really don't know and completely grumpy most of the time. So you can understand where they're coming from during this time of holiday. Granted, I could review more episodes involving the Griffins. Yeah, sorry. It's just stuff like that I keep recording and stuff. But anyways, it's really unique to see how the Griffins can do when the other characters really don't. Like, feeling depressed and also not happy during Hearthswarming Eve. Hearthswarming Tail or something. Which really makes most of the stories completely interesting and pretty much one of the best things we get to see from the line 6. Other than Sandball, who is still apparently like the other main characters, the other creatures like Smolder, Yana, and Silverstream completely telling the stories of what they did at their kingdom is probably one of the best things that we get to see from the show. Again, we see ponies talking about the heartwarming holiday, but this time we get to see other characters who are not ponies express their stories, except Sandbar. So, this episode isn't as good as Heartwarming Eve or Tail, but it's above Heartbreakers and not really above Best Gift Ever, but it's still above Heartbreakers. So, this will be at number 4 at the top 5 Heartwarming episodes/specials of the show. Sure, they were disappointed that they don't able to leave completely early and do all the other activities, but they completely got along at the end. So that's basically the moral of this episode, is that they need to at least get along and tell stories to each other and show honesty. That's basically the friendship lesson that was showing in this episode. Granted, I don't understand why they completely had to make the tree really good towards the beginning of the episode, considering the fact that everything is good as it already is, but apparently they pretty much wanted to have something to come out of another heartwarming episode from the show. Since there's like 5 already, oh my god, and there could be 6 next year. And the Question Girl still didn't got a Christmas special yet. I give this episode a 7.5 out of 10. There's only a few more episodes left until I'm done for the year. Well, maybe some reactions, but we don't know what's going to happen later this month.